welcome to today's yoga class. What I've planned for you today is a nice gentle half-hour flow. So if you have your yoga mat, we're just about ready to go. If you don't have a yoga mat and you're doing this on hardwood or any kind of a tile floor, I just recommend you grab a blanket just to help alleviate some of the tension that you might be feeling on your knees during the class. If you do happen to have a yoga block or two, bring them out. They're amazing, just if you're modifying certain poses, and just making sure you have a water bottle close by, keeping yourself hydrated at any point during the class. You can pause the video and just go ahead and grab yourself a drink. So we're going to go ahead and get started. You can either join me in a seated Shavasana, and I've placed a block underneath my sit bones just to help me sit up a little bit taller. You can also start in a traditional Shavasana, laying down on your mat. And go ahead and close those eyes, and we're going to go ahead and get started with our breath work. Now, if you are lying down and you do have a sore lower back, you can take one of your blocks, place it underneath each thigh, or if you don't have blocks, you're going to go ahead and bend your knees, soles of your feet down on your mat, and you can let those knees cave into one another. It'll definitely help alleviate any lower back tension you might be feeling. So with that being said, go ahead and close your eyes. And we're going to start with our breath. So starting to take those nice, long, deep in and out breaths through your nose. Pulling those shoulders back and down. Closing your eyes. And just let everything go. As you breathe in through your nose, feeling your belly rise as it fills up with air. And as you exhale, drawing your belly button in towards your spine, letting all of that stale air go. So just continuing with your own breath here, trying to elongate your breaths, finding that rhythm, and trying to match the length of your inhales with your exhales as you continue to work on letting go. Letting go of anything that no longer serves you. Letting go of perhaps the busy day you've had already. Letting go of what's to come for the rest of the day or the rest of the week. And just use this time to reconnect with your breath and reconnect with yourself. As you continue to breathe, this is an amazing opportunity for you to set an intention for yourself for today's practice. So perhaps if you're new to yoga and you're just giving this a try for the first time, your intention can be just keep an open mind, try your best. Or maybe if your mind is racing constantly, it's been a really crazy and hectic week and a half, maybe your intention can be just to try to focus on your breath, try to push away all those unwelcome thoughts and distractions. So whatever that intention is, I want you to hold on to it in the back of your mind and use it to guide you through today's practice. We're going to go ahead and take a few more breaths here in your Shavasana. Taking one more nice big full breath here, filling up your lungs with air. And as you exhale, letting everything go. As we start to bring awareness back into our bodies and back into our spaces, start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. You can begin to circle your wrists and your ankles. And gently move your head from side to side, just allowing any tension you're carrying in your neck to just release. If you're laying down, I'd like you to bring both knees into your chest. Raise your right arm over your head and roll over onto your right side, using that right arm as your pillow, pardon me. And then gently start to push yourself up with your left hand, coming to meet me in a seated position. Eyes open or closed. If you're sitting on a block like I am, gently releasing. And as you inhale, I'd like you to sweep your hands all the way up to the sky as your gaze follows. Exhale, bringing your hands to your heart. We're going to do that 2 more times. So inhale, sweeping your hands all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Last one. Inhale as we sweep our hands all the way up. And as you exhale, bringing those hands to heart center. We're going to just come into a gentle seated twist. So you can take your left hand, place it on your right knee, and gently twist to the right, looking over that shoulder, pulling that right shoulder back and down. Holding here for a full breath, in and out. And then gently coming back to center, go ahead and switch sides. So looking over that left shoulder here. Beautiful. As you come back to center, we are going to go ahead and remain seated. I want you to make sure your left foot is in front of your right. We're just going to do a gentle forward bend, stretching out your hips slightly. So with your left foot in front of your right, you're going to start to walk your fingertips out and slowly lower your head down. You should be feeling a really nice stretch in your left hip crease here. And remember, you're only going as far as your body allows you to go. One more breath. Slowly starting to walk your fingertips back up to your feet. Your head comes up last, and you're going to go ahead and switch legs. So right in front is in front of left this time. So same thing, we start by sitting up nice and tall. Reaching those fingertips out. And then go ahead and lower. You should be feeling this in your right hip crease this time. On your next breath, slowly inhale those fingertips back and exhale as we come back to center. We're going to move into our tabletop. So I'm going to demo this from the side. So you're going to make sure your shoulders are directly above your wrists, your hips are over your knees, and we have that nice flat back. If I tried to put a plate on your back, it would be completely straight. That's why we're calling it the tabletop. On your inhale, I want you to tilt that pelvis back and out as your gaze comes up, really exaggerating that arch in your spine. And as you exhale, round your upper back, look towards your belly button. So we're going to continue to go through our cat-cows here. So really pulling back through those shoulders. And you can do this with your own breath. So if my pace doesn't work for you, don't worry. And if you'd like to introduce any other movements, maybe moving gently from side to side, maybe circling those hips, or perhaps even coming back into a child's pose and then coming back into that tabletop. Whatever it is that your body needs, this is your opportunity to just get some small movements in. Beautiful. On your next breath, you're going to go ahead and widen those knees. Bring your big toes to touch and sink back into that child's pose. Finding your breath here. We're going to slowly start to walk our fingers towards the right side of the mat, maybe even coming off your mat here. Getting a nice stretch in your left side as you do so. And then once again, coming back to center, this time walking your fingertips to the left. Coming back to center. And from here, you're gonna go ahead and find your downward facing dog. Now, if you have tight hamstrings like I do, you're gonna keep a nice deep knee bend as you do so. So as you lift up your hips, notice how when I bend my knees, I'm able to bring my hips up even higher. From your downward facing dog, go ahead and roll forward into that high plank. Notice where your shoulders and your wrists are. Inhale, downward facing dog. Exhale, high plank. We're gonna do that 2 more times. Inhale, down dog. Exhale, high plank. Remembering at any point you can drop those knees. You're gonna inhale into that down dog and exhale to that high plank. From here, drop your knees down. Readjust if you need to, making sure shoulders are still above your wrists. You're gonna go ahead, hinge at your elbows, and then just gently lift up your chest, coming into that baby cobra. Shift myself back a bit in case the camera can't catch me. Elbows are glued to your ribs here. And then pushing up once again, downward facing dog. Go ahead and inhale that right heel high to the sky. And as you exhale, bend that right knee, swing that foot between your hands, dropping your left knee down. You're gonna come and sit up nice and tall here. Hands can either be connected behind your back or arms can come straight up. Breathing here, I really want you to feel that lifting here. So I'm trying to pull my right hip back as my left hip comes forward. Next breath, both arms straight out in front of you. Open up that right arm out to the side, coming into a gentle twist, looking towards your right fingertips here. Beautiful. Bringing that right arm back to meet your left. You're gonna plant your hands, step back, downward facing dog. This time, inhaling that left heel high to the sky, bend that left knee, swing that foot between your hands, dropping that right knee down, come up once again. This time you decide, arms up, making sure you're pulling your shoulders back and down if they're here, or once again, connecting those knuckles behind your back. It's gonna help you open up your chest here. Once again, bringing your arms straight out in front of you, opening up that left arm this time, looking towards your left fingertips. Trying your best to keep that nice 90-degree bend in that front knee. One more breath. And then bring those hands up nice and tall. You're gonna go ahead, step back, downward facing dog. Take some time to pedal your heels out here. So bending one knee, then the other. And then looking towards your hands, walk your feet to meet your hands at the top of your mat. You're gonna inhale, coming up halfway. And then exhale to fold. Inhale, sweeping your hands all the way up to the sky. And as you exhale, you can bring your hands to your heart. Look down, making sure your feet are just about hip distance. Inhale, sweeping those hands all the way up. And then exhale as you fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Nice flat back here. And as you exhale, you can go ahead and plant your hands. I want you to step back into that high plank. Option, you can lower down onto your knees, or if you'd like, you can stay up nice and tall, just rolling forward onto your big toes, hinging at your elbows, coming into that hover, and then coming into that up dog. So gazes up, arms are straight here. This is one option. If you prefer the baby cobra, you can go back to that. Pulling your shoulders away from your ears. Beautiful, tucking those toes, downward facing dog. From here, lowering into a child's pose. This is a great opportunity to grab a sip of water if you need one. I know I sure do, it's a lot of talking. So take a couple of breaths here in your child's pose. Ignore the dog barking in the background. And whenever you're ready, we're gonna meet back in your downward facing dog. She heard the word dog, she got all excited. From your downward facing dog, you're gonna inhale that right heel up once again. Exhale, bend that right knee, swinging that foot between your hands. This time, you're gonna place your left foot down so it's parallel with the back edge of your mat. Arms come up, warrior two. Now, you wanna make sure that that front knee has a nice 90-degree bend. That knee is not caving in. Your shoulders are backing down. Your right heel is in line with the midpoint of your left foot here. Next breath, flipping that left right palm, pardon me, exalting your warrior. Slowly bringing that arm back. This time, you're gonna straighten that front knee. We're gonna do a little bit of magic here. Pivot on that left foot, pivot on that right foot, bend that left knee. And now you should be in a nice warrior on your other side. Not really quite sure where to stand this so it films me, but just, we'll figure it out as we go along. Next breath, flip that left palm, exalt your warrior. Beautiful. Bringing that hand back, you're gonna go ahead and straighten that front knee, and you're gonna make your way back. So you're standing in a nice wide leg pose on your mat. You can face away from me if you don't wanna look at me, that's fine too. Either way, I want you to pigeon toe your heel. So toes are in, heels are slightly out. Knees are straight here. You can have just a small micro bend if you need one. As you inhale, I want you to slowly start to hinge. You should feel a nice stretch in your hamstrings. Now, either hold here if your back can remain flat, or you can slowly release down even further, placing your hands down on your mat or on blocks. I personally like to stay here. I'm getting a really lovely hamstring stretch, but you do whatever your body's calling for. Just remember to pull those shoulders back. Nice job, everyone. As you inhale, you're gonna come up halfway. And as you exhale, you're gonna come up the rest of the way. Bring that right foot in, followed by your left. Go ahead and shake it out. And we're gonna go through just a simple balance for today. So we're gonna do one of my favorites, which is tree pose. So you're gonna start by putting all of the weight into your left foot. So left toes, left heel, all of it. Your right foot, option one, is just gonna create a little bit of a kickstand here. So notice my right knee is pointing out towards the right side of the room. This is option one. Option two is you can bring that foot up slightly higher, never behind your knee. Option three is to actually lift it up, press it into your thigh, and you can bring your hands to heart center. So you're gonna go ahead and choose whatever option it is that you'd like now. Just remembering that your balance can definitely change from day to day. So if you were really, really stable on one foot 2 days ago, you might not be the same on the same foot today. So just give yourself a little bit of a break, take those options, and from here you can decide if you'd like to bring your arms up to the sky. For an extra challenge, you can always try to close your eyes and count how many seconds it takes before you fall over. Woo! And there we go. I just jinxed myself. Just continue to breathe here. Great job, everyone. One more nice big full inhale and exhale as you do so. And then you can go ahead and slowly release. Shake it out if you need to. And we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So, right foot planted deep into your mat. Your left foot can either form a kickstand for level 1, option 2, level 2, bringing it up a little higher, or option 3, bringing it all the way up into that thigh. So if you're doing this option, you really have to make sure that you're constantly pressing your entire left foot into that inner thigh, or else it's not gonna stay. As you can see, I didn't wear the right pants. I'm a little bit extra wobbly on this side. So I'm gonna maybe take a different option for today. So for today, I'm gonna kickstand. You can decide if you wanna keep your hands at heart center, if you wanna bring your arms up. Maybe you wanna sway your tree to one side or the other. That's the beauty of doing this from home. You can do whatever you want. And maybe use this as an opportunity to come back to that intention that you set for yourself. Come back to that breath. And when you're ready, you can bring your hands back to heart center. You can go ahead and shake your legs out as we go through one more flow, come into some nice stretches, laying down on our mats, and then we'll go into our Shavasana. So from here, nice big inhale, sweeping those hands all the way up to the sky, and exhale as you fold. Inhale, coming up halfway, and as you exhale, planting your hands down, step back, high plank, knees or toes as you lower down into your chaturanga, up dog or cobra, downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, once again, you're gonna sink back into that nice child's pose. You can bring your hands into prayer over your head. And just rest here. After your next breath, you can slowly start walking your hands back, stacking your spine, rolling up one vertebrae at a time, with your head going ahead and coming up last. So, first coming into a seated position, we're gonna go ahead and really slowly come onto our backs from here. So, I'd like you to bring your arms straight out in front of you, pull your shoulders back and down, really brace that core, and slowly start to lower as slowly as you can. No cheating, Jen Mason. And then come all the way down onto your backs. I'd like you to bend both knees, and as you inhale, you're gonna squeeze your glutes, lift your hips, coming into that bridge pose. And then exhale, release everything back down. We're gonna do that again. So inhale, squeeze and lift, and exhale. Doing that one more time with your own breath. Nice job. From here, extending your left leg out long, bringing your right knee in towards your chest. You can start to circle that right ankle in one direction, followed by the other. If you'd like more, you can start to bring that right knee out even more towards the side. Think of almost like what we were doing with our tree pose. Just concentrate on your breath, not the dog barking in the background. And on your next breath, coming back to center, extend that right leg out long, bringing your left knee in towards your chest. Same thing, circling that left ankle in one direction. circling it in the other. And then maybe even slowly opening up towards the side. Feeling a nice stretch in your groin here as you do so. Great job, everyone. You're gonna go ahead and come back to center, bringing both knees into your chest. I'd like you to lift up your head, bringing your forehead in towards your knees. Just holding here. And then gently release. We're gonna do that one more time. So inhale, connecting forehead with knees perhaps. And then exhale. Arms are gonna come into cactus, so two 90-degree angles. You're gonna go ahead and send both knees over to the left side of the room. Trying to keep that right shoulder planted down on your mat or on the floor. So if you can't quite connect your knees, this is where you can use a block. This is where you can use a blanket. Either place it in between your knees or underneath them. Just to help you feel more grounded. You can close your eyes here as we begin to unwind our practice. On your next breath, I really want you to squeeze your core here as you bring your knees back to center, and then go ahead and send them over to the right side. Gaze can fall in the opposite direction here. On your next breath, once again, slowly bringing your knees back to center, and then you can go ahead and extend your legs out long as we come into our final resting pose. So you can decide if you either want to do a nice traditional laying down Shavasana, or if you'd like to end the class the same way that we started, in a seating position. Whatever it is that you decide, I'm going to help you talk through it as soon as I grab my puppy. So Rowan and I are going to talk you through your Shavasana for a couple of moments. Feel free to pause the video if you'd like to take a longer Shavasana. This is a wonderful time to put things like socks back on. You can wrap yourself up in a blanket. Place an eye pillow over top of your eyes. Just enjoy the weight. And just allow everything to slow down. So allowing your breathing to slow down. Relaxing your jaw once again. Releasing your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Pulling those shoulders back and down. And just once again, let everything go. You're more than welcome to stay in your Shavasana for as long as you wish. I only ask that when you do finally decide to come up, you do so carefully and safely. If you're laying on your back, that means rolling over onto one side and gently coming up. I'd like to sincerely thank each and every one of you for allowing me to guide you through your practice virtually today. It is my absolute honor and pleasure to get to share this practice with all of you. From the bottom of my heart and from my energy to yours, namaste.